Climbing in Valorant can be an absolute struggle when you constantly have terrible teammates and you just can't carry enough to win games. That's why we're going to go over the best 5 solo carry agents as of patch 8.06 so that you know which ones have really high solo carry impact. You can put those terrible teammates in the backpack and climb anyways. Now the first character that we do got to talk about is Raze, and I pretty much have to get her out of the way because she will continue to be one of the best pound for pound characters to carry in ranked, period. Not only is she incredibly powerful in the pro meta play, she is also just a crazy strong solo carry agent, and I'm going to break it down into 3 main reasons why. Number 1 is specifically because Raze attacks the meta in a very unique way, being able to destroy pieces of utility like Cypher trips, and this is super important if you're trying to enter onto site. Number 2 is she gives you outplay potential. Because of your mobility, you can set up situations where you dip in and out of cover very quickly, where you navigate through the map in a way that other characters just can't, and you set yourself up in an advantaged gunfight where enemies are just not ready for you, or you catch them with pulling out their utility because you missed timing them because of that mobility. But for the third reason, ultimately this character provides a good combination of intrinsic value, or value that is just you're getting automatic by playing the character, chip damage, being able to fulfill your role in a composition by entering onto site, and you also have the solo carry individualistic outplay value that you can get if your team is not utilizing your intrinsic value, like the teamwork, the coordination. So whether you need to pop off and dominate in a game, racking up a crazy amount of kills to win that game, or whether you can play a more fundamental role filler in the team composition, Raze allows you to play both sides of the field in a way that few other characters can, and you can basically rise to whatever your team needs or whatever you need to do in order to still win that game, and it's great to play a character that can do that. Now we have guides over many of the characters on this list, and guides over aim, warm-ups, training, and more. So if you really want to level up your skills and you want to do it risk-free, we offer a rank improvement money-back guarantee on the SkillCapped website. So if you don't climb, you don't pay. So what are you waiting for? Check it out right now in the links down below. And the next character that we definitely got to talk about is Clove. And Clove is the new kid on the block, but might be one of the best solo carry agents in the entire game. You see, one thing that we've been seeing as a change in the meta is Omens getting more aggressive. They use their utility to set up their team, but then they go on more lurks. They be more aggressive. They find ways to make plays, and this has been true in ranked as well for a very long time. But Clove does this even better in the right hands. Because Clove can die and still do their fundamental job, they can play more aggressive than another controller could because their death doesn't matter nearly as much. This means that you can be more aggressive with your challenges. This means that you can be more aggressive with your lurks, and ultimately this means that you are less punished for dying and being aggressive as this character, which is a really big deal if you're trying to rack up a high number of kills, which Clove can be a character that top frags while fulfilling the controller role on their team. I talk a lot about the intrinsic value and then the solo carry value as a combination because that's the thing that you need if you want to win every single game in Valorant. You need characters that can play a fundamental need of your team when the team is working, the team is good, everyone's playing their mains, or you need a character that can top frag when no one's doing anything and you almost need a brute force that win through. And that's something that I kind of criticize some characters like Reyna as a hypothetical character that is really good on one side of the field where she's really good at popping off and, you know, constantly winning those ecos and just racking up crazy high kills. But as far as a fundamental strategy, Reyna lacks compared to a lot of other characters because she doesn't have a kit that is built for team play as much. But characters like Clove and Raze get to do both because they have a kit that works for team play but also enables them to be proactive, get high numbers of kills, find advantage fights. And Clove is looking better and better the more that they're seeing play, and is definitely a character that I would highly recommend grinding now, getting incredibly good at, so that you can start to dominate in your games before too long. The next character that I definitely got to talk about is Skye. And I do think that a lot of people have been sleeping on Skye, mainly because Skye has gotten nerf after nerf after nerf, but she's still one of the most powerful initiators in the entire game, and I think that more people need to start playing this character again. Skye is just really solid all around. Doesn't have any particular weaknesses and is good at both assisting the team or finding ways to clutch yourself, being able to gather great information, having an ultimate that is good in both joint rushes or when you're in a really low resource 1v1 or 1v2 situation, and then having a flash that is really good at not only gathering that info but being able to set up your teams for plays as well. I think all around Skye just has such a flexible kit where she's good on basically every single map if you master fast to her. And I think just about any composition can work with the Skye, and Skye is even stronger in ranked play, where the small differences between initiators don't matter nearly as much as in pro play. So if you were gonna one-trick an initiator, I think Skye is actually one of the best ones to do so. She's incredibly powerful. She really rewards you for starting to learn how and when your flashes give you certain amounts of information, how to use your flashes to gather information through certain lineups, and just overall playing with your team in a way that is assisting when you need to, or trying to make plays when your team isn't around. Skye is just a crazy powerful agent right now, and definitely one that I think way too many people are sleeping on, even though she's just so damn impactful. Now, the next solo carry agent that we definitely got to talk about is Cypher. Cypher has been dominating the meta for quite some time, and he continues to do so in a way that other Sentinels just don't have the same amount of flexibility as Cypher. For one, he completely locks down sights, and it makes it so that opponents have to be really disciplined to push through you. They either have to cover for each other and break the trips, or they have to use utility. Whatever the case may be, in ranked, that's going to happen even less so than any other type of gameplay. So you're going to be able to get a lot of free value and free kills just by having a really good setup. But in addition to that, Cypher is an incredible lurker, really good at retaking space by using a combination of cage and your trips, so it's really hard for enemies to wrap. You can gather information with your cam, and Cypher's also just really good at completely shutting off rotations. So when you have a Sentinel that is extremely good at shutting down a site and getting value if people go to that site, but then also good at lurking, gathering information, cutting off rotations, or even making flank plays, you just have a character that can be very, very difficult to play against, and it can mess up good players. Like, there will be a game where you play against a player or with a player, and that player pops off, but all of a sudden they're against your Cypher, and you completely cut off their ability to make plays or just play the way that they want to, and you're carrying by shutting down these players, and Cypher can do that better than just about anyone else. So I really do think that Cypher is worth a lot of the time and effort it takes to learn him, and it's also a character that as the map rotation happens, he's only going to get better because there's a lot of maps that he's really good in that is not currently in the map pool. So definitely start grinding him now, be really good with him while he's still really good in the meta, because he's only going to get better as time goes on. Now, the last but certainly not least character that we do got to talk about is Yoru, and I will always make a special exception for Yoru as a character that doesn't really see that much meta play, but in ranked, he can be an absolute powerhouse depending on you. So what we see with Yoru for the win rates, when Riot gave us the internal win rates of characters, is that Yoru has one of the lowest win rates in the game at the lowest ranks of play, but as Yoru players get better, he climbs and climbs and climbs until he has one of the highest win rates in Immortal and even Radiant. This means that as the skill of Yoru players gets better and better, you're going to be able to pull off better and better plays, but it asks a lot from you. This is a character that you can't just dabble in. This is a character that you need to master, because it can be incredibly easy for you to mess up your own engages. It can be incredibly easy for you to not be able to react in time to all the information that you need to take in on the fly, and Yoru is also a character that challenges you not only mechanically, but game sense wise, because you need to try to trick and force opponents to act a certain way and still dominate them. So overall, I think this character gives you all the tools to carry, and if you want to be able to carry when you get really good at a character, Yoru might be that agent for you, but I will warn you that this is one of the agents on the list that is not easy to get that value. In fact, if you just start picking up Yoru tomorrow, you might go on a giant loss streak. You might not do anything. You might be way worse than you would be on other characters, but I promise you, if you put in the effort, put in the time, grind the character, it will reward you with that effort. So that's why I'm putting him on the list. But if you have any other characters that you think we should have included, definitely let us know in the comments down below, and check out SkillCapped right now here. Look at my eyes.